The critical first step in creating charts is actually selecting the data you want to appear in a chart. On the worksheet here, we see a lot of numbers, and we might want to show what's happened in the first quarter of the year, or maybe the first half. That's all the data we have here. It covers various regions. You wouldn't necessarily think or know. The text information that appears with your numbers should be included in that selection. Let's suppose that we wanted to show all 6 months of data here. Let's include the text that's typically above the data and to the left of it. Maybe you want to show just those 3 regions or just these 4. As a general rule, you want to not include totals along with detail. We've got an extra column on the right of totals, one below 2. Let's leave those off of here for now. For the moment, we're not emphasizing how to create the chart. I'm going to use a keystroke shortcut, which you'll see in a bit. But here's a chart that's been created simply based on the data that I selected. And we move this over a little bit, shrink it so we can see what's happened. And you can see what's been highlighted. When you do create a chart, sometimes you do change your mind and say, well, I think I wanted totals there. Well, I'll move the chart over a little bit more here and actually drag this corner. Let's see how the totals might look on this chart. And I think you can see why many times we don't want totals there. How about the totals below it instead? What if we were to not include these and then shift down and get these? That's a different look too. I don't think you'd want that. Most of us wouldn't. So as a general rule, keep off totals. But the main idea here is you're highlighting the data that you want. Suppose we want to create a different chart. Maybe we'll move that one over or keep it here for the moment. Maybe just the first 3 months. Highlight this data. Again, I'll use a keystroke shortcut for that. And as you would expect, we're just seeing 3 months of data here. Now, many times you'll simply drag across the cells that you want to appear in the chart. Excel knows what to do with that text on top of your data and to the left of it. Now, what if we wanted a different chart here that didn't include one of these regions? Or maybe we only want to show 2 of the regions. How about showing Europe and Latin America, but not the other 2? We would want the monthly information, so let's highlight this, let go of that left mouse button, then hold down the Control key, highlight the Europe data, let go of the left mouse button, hold down Control, highlight the Latin America data. We're all set here. We'll use another keystroke shortcut for creating this quickly. There we go, just Europe and Latin America. There are other times when all of the contiguous data you want to appear in a chart, and this might be a huge list. It's not that long really, but it could be thousands of rows. And if all the contiguous data here, all this data here, and we don't have to highlight it, if we want all of that to appear in a chart, simply click on one cell here. Once again, quick way. There it is. It's showing all of the data. We don't have to highlight it all. Had I done that with the previous worksheet, going back here again and getting rid of this chart, and that raises a question, how do you get rid of a chart? Click on its border or just inside in the chart area, press delete. I don't want this one either, press delete. I don't want this one, press delete, so on. If I were to click in this cell and create a chart quickly, Excel will automatically pick up all of this contiguous data, and I think you know this is not going to be an acceptable chart. There it is. Once again, totals there, and look at the percents, hopelessly lost in all this too. Now, there is the opportunity sometimes to say, for example, I want to show the totals here, but not the other data. This might work well in a pie chart. Maybe highlight that data. Letting go of that left mouse button, using the Control key, highlight this data. Once again, keystroke shortcut. I might eventually turn that into a pie chart, but that's not so bad either. So sometimes you will select non-contiguous areas, as we saw earlier with the regions. Here we're doing it with columns as well. So that first key step when you're creating a chart is to indicate what is going to go into the chart and a number of different ways to approach that.